No, we have not seen her arrive inside Bilawal house unless she took a back entrance. We're standing right outside the main front gate. I'm going to pan the camera around and show you the scene outside Bilawal house right now. That is the front gate. And there is a vehicle going inside, but we have no confirmation whether it's actually not the one with benazir in it. We did see a convoy of vehicles come down this road and turn left a lot earlier. It's possible that they entered Bilawal house through a back entrance, but to my knowledge, by my understanding, they have not yet arrived. We're going to pan the camera around a little bit in that direction and show you this is the crowd of people gathered outside Bilawal house right now. They've been assembled in a semicircle by the arrangements management over here, and they are standing here waiting to receive benazir. Behind me, if you look to my left now, behind me you can see that is the direction from where the convoy is supposed to arrive. But as of our information at this point in time, Benazir Bhutto has not yet arrived in Bilawal house, unless she was part of that earlier convoy we saw going in through a side entrance, or at least turning into a side lane somewhere. But as far as our information goes, that was not hers.
Now, Khurram, it seems.
Osama, I'm losing you.
Khurram, it seems that that a lot of people are just standing around a little bit bemused and a little bit confused as to what is going on. Has there been any official statement made by anybody from the Pakistan People's Party as to what has happened and as to whether or not Benazir has actually arrived?
And many of them seem to have lost their sense of humor. They seem to have lost a lot of the jubilation that we had seen earlier in the streets. They now have a very different tone when they are speaking to the media. They would prefer that none of this get covered on its way in. But you can be sure we'll be here. We will be able to bring you live pictures, provided that she has not already managed to sneak in through a side gate or a back entrance without our knowledge. But I think the chances of that are somewhat remote. But there is, the street outside is dominated right now by arrangements and management of the PPP, arranged by the PPP, presumably volunteers or people who work in Bilawal house. There is a welcome reception camp set up outside. I don't know if that is an official PPP camp or if it's a camp set up by supporters or an official Bilawal house camp, or a camp set up by supporters to receive her. But behind me is the gate, and behind the cameraman right now, what you will see in a moment once he begins to pan in that direction are the supporters that have gathered outside Bilawal house, standing in a neat semicircle arranged by these very same volunteer managers outside Bilawal house to receive Benazir Bhutto. Periodically we see lights of cars approaching down this road, as you can see right now from a distance, and everybody cranes and swoons their necks to try and determine if that is the convoy that is bringing Benazir back. But invariably it turns out that line of lights turns off in a different direction and goes somewhere else. As per our information right now, Benazir Bhutto has not yet arrived in Bilawal house, but as I mentioned earlier, we did see a convoy of vehicles bearing PVP flags that came down this road, turn left roundabout where the restaurant is, and go into a side lane over there. There is a remote likelihood that she was in that convoy of vehicles and effected entry into Bilawal house through a side or a back entrance. That likelihood is remote. We're in the process of confirming that. As soon as we have confirmation, we will let you know. But for the time being, we're standing here to bring you live footage of her re-entry into Bilawal house after the anticlimactic or the unexpected turn of events that she encountered outside Karsaz.
Now, Khurram, what we're looking at behind you are also deserted streets. There are, as you were just telling us, that there are cars who would come towards the direction and then turn away. So is this a cordon by the security services, or are the People's Party Jialas diverting traffic from the area?
Last time we spoke, I told you there were no security forces, and that situation has actually not changed. Between then and now, I don't see any security forces. I've walked up and down the length of this road. I have yet to see any uniformed security forces anywhere. The cordon and the arrangements out here are being maintained by plainclothes volunteers, it appears, of Bilawal, linked with Bilawal house or linked with the PVP in some capacity. I cannot determine the exact capacity in which they are connected, but they are the people running the show out here right now.
Well, Khurram, thank you very much for that update. We'll be coming back to you. Do stay on.